Shravana Nakshatra in the Nakshatra Sukta itself is called Shrona. The earliest mention, as I could find, of the word Shrona is in the Rigveda, first mandala. There it is used in the sense of a disabled person. But here we have to take this as the Shravana Nakshatra. If you were to look up in the Vedic dictionary, Shrona would be translated as lame person. But here we are not referring to the lame person, but we are referring to the Shravana Nakshatra. Shrunvanti Shrona Mamrutasya Gopam Punyamasya Upashrunomi Vacham Maheen Devim Vishnupatnimajuryaam Pratichi Menagam Havishaya Jamaha Tredha Vishnurugayo Vichakrame Maheen Devam Prithvi Mantariksham Tachronaite Shrava Ichamana Punyakashlokam Yajamanaya Krinvati. This is a very beautiful and a very significant mantra, because this name Shravana is also given to our children. In fact, in Ramayana, we come across a very famous name, Shravana Kumara. This Shravana Kumara actually attained enormous amount of fame. It's a very small episode in Ramayana, but his fame is enormous, almost as famous as Ramayana itself, because of his utmost extraordinary devotion to his aged and blind parents. Pitru Yajna, he takes it to its limit. The parents of Shravana Kumara had become blind, and therefore he was taking care of them very much. And they expressed the desire that they wanted to do the yatra of 4 important pilgrim places in Bharata. Probably they were thinking of Rameshwara, Kashi, which were the ancient Badri and Kedara, very ancient shrines. So he built like a huge scale. On either plate he would seat both his parents, and he would actually carry them from place to place. And once during this travel, he had actually come to the banks of the Sarayu river, and this was a time when Dasharatha, still a young man, was an extraordinary archer. He had a power of what is known as Shabda Veda. That means by hearing the sound, he was able to shoot an arrow. And the sound he could also evaluate and say which animal that sound is. Shravana Kumara was actually using one of his pitchers to pick up water for his parents, and that made a sound of an elephant drinking water in a water body. Dasharatha, thinking that it is an elephant, using the Shabda Vedi, he shoots an arrow. And we know that Shravana Kumara, in a last breath, he tells Dasharatha of his blind parents and asks them to take care of his parents. And Dasharatha, of course, is extremely grief-stricken, and then he comes back and then he tries to help and console the aged parents. But the aged parents were heartbroken and they actually die, giving Dasharatha a curse that he will also die with Putra Shoka. So the reason I picked up the story of Shravana Kumara is Shravana and Shravana Nakshatra is associated with name and fame. Any activity, noble activity, uplifting activity, altruistic activity that is done in the Shravana Nakshatra is bound to give the performer a great fame and name. Legend also has that Venkateshwara of Tirupati descended on the earth in the Shravana Nakshatra in the Bhadrapada month. As always in our study of Nakshatra, we look at the Nakshatra Adhipati, the Lord of Nakshatra. The Lord of Shravana Nakshatra is Chandra, and therefore his color is white. The Devata of Shravana Nakshatra is Vishnu, obviously the most famous of the Devatas. The Adhidevatas are the Vishve Devatas, and the Pratyadi Devatas are the Vasus, the 8 Vasus. As I mentioned, once we complete the study of the mantra, we'll come back and study the Devatas of the mantra. We'll get a very good picture by studying the Devatas of Nakshatras, our entire pantheon of the Devatas. So what is the purpose of worshipping in Shravana Nakshatra and Shravana Nakshatra and the Devata Vishnu? The purpose is not just worshipping Vishnu but also his consort Vishnu Patni, as we see in the mantra itself. So the purpose is to obtain fame, kirti, and also wealth. Veda uses annam to indicate wealth, includes food. So the Shravana Nakshatra Devata is the protector of karma phala. So therefore the word is Amritasya Gopam. Amrita here is interpreted as karma phala. The result of satkarma is Amrita. And this Amrita, that is satkarma, has to become known for posterity, for all time to come. So our satkarya will become immortal as long as it is beneficial to the entire creation. And the satkarma and the outcome of the satkarma, say for example, all our sages gave us the Vedas, the sages gave us the Upanishads, extraordinary satkarma, and unless somebody protects that Veda and the Upanishad and all the Shastras, then what would happen to all of us? We would be denied of this extraordinary wisdom. Somebody has to protect it, and somebody has to assure that this wisdom is not lost. And therefore, who does it? The Shravana Nakshatra Adhipati, Mahavishnu, is the one along with his Vishnu Patnim, Ajuryam. Ajuryam means one who is free from Jvara. Jvara means maladies. She is free from all maladies. And also Jvara also means sorrows. Only a person who is completely free from physical debility and from mental weakness is capable of protecting such wisdom. And this is some indication to us that whatever challenges come in our life, however tragic circumstances occur in our life, at no point of time we should allow our mind to get depressed. It is when the mind is depressed, when the mind is a little bit of sorrow, dukkha for a reasonable period of time, when we are going through challenges is fine, but we have to bounce back after that. And it is only when Jvara Santapa Rahita, which is Ajuryam, that Ajurya is the quality of Vishnu Patni, one who is free from all maladies and sorrows, and therefore she is also Shri. When all of these things are there, we are able to continue and protect this Kirti and Annam, not just for us, but for everyone. Why is this? It is because in this Yajya mantra, Vishnu Patnim Ajuryam, that is free from sorrow and maladies, along with the Mahavishnu is Pratichim. Pratichim means right in front of us. So this is also very metaphorical to say, right in front of us, everything that is valuable, that is glorious, that is extraordinary, is all the time in front of us. Jnana is in front of us, Vijnana is in front of us. The various wisdom literature is in front of us. Wise people are in front of us, right in front of us. Why is it we cannot recognize the existence of all these excellent things? It is because our mind is full of jvara. And therefore here we say, you who is all the time Pratichim in front of us, in our presence, Hey Shravana Nakshatra Devata, please make sure that we recognize the glorious things in front of us all the time, without letting this maladies and sorrows, jvara, to cloud our vision and our life. So in this nakshatra, the glory of Mahavishnu, among all the things he has done, you take all the avatars, all the Dashavataras, the most eminent avatara is his Trivikrama avatara. A dwarf from the Vamana Rupa, he actually covers all the three worlds. There is no other avatara which is as glorious as that, and therefore this Trivikrama avatara happened in the Shravana Nakshatra. That means any project that is undertaken in Shravana Nakshatra, what happens is Mahim Divam Prithivim Antariksham Shrona. Such actions in Mahim Divam, in the great sky in the heavens, Prithivim on the earth, Antariksham in the intermediate region. Just as Mahavishnu attained the fame, likewise, by our worshipping the Shravana Nakshatra Devata, Adidevata, Pratyadivata, Kirti and Yashas of not only the worshipper, but the Yajamana also spreads in all the three worlds. So we call it as Digdiganta Vyapi Kirti. Such Kirti is attained. So what is the summary? The summary is, by contemplating the meaning of the Shravana Nakshatra mantra, we come to recognize the glorious and the important, which is all the time staring in our eyes, right in front of us. So first thing is our recognizing the excellence of the universe. And secondly, with all our efforts, we must protect and make all this immortal. And hence we have a very important duty of protecting the Vedic wisdom, of the Upanishad knowledge, of the Bhagavad Gita knowledge. All of these things we have a responsibility to continue to protect and make its fame grow, just like Mahavishnu does the Trivikrama avatara. And then for this we have to offer a yajna. And that yajna is a jnana yajna, that is constantly committing our minds to continue to acquire knowledge and pray to Vishnu Patni. She is Vishnu Patni because Patni is, etymology of Patni is Palayatri. That means one who is protected. Mahalakshmi is protected by her husband Vishnu. And she is, what kind of a person she is? She is not a sickly, weak, small-minded person. She is actually free from all maladies and sorrows. There could be malady of the body that has nothing to do with the mind. Free from a very strong mind, and she is capable of putting us in the presence of God. That is why the whole of the Madhva philosophy has developed by saying, you worship Mahalakshmi, she will take you to Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu crossed the three worlds in Trivikrama Avatara in this nakshatra. May such Shravana Nakshatra bring us and the Yajamanaya Kranvati, for the Yajamana, bring auspiciousness. Not only that, to me and the Yajamana, Punyam Vacham, eloquent speech, also please will be granted, because it is eloquence that can perpetuate knowledge from generation to generation. And may Vishnu Patni, Vishnu, Shravana Nakshatra Devata always inspire us to do noble acts. So that's the purport of this beautiful Shravana Nakshatra mantra. More we'll see in our next class. We'll conclude with Shanti mantra. Anybody could please unmute.